Hi, everybody. Laura here. So glad you're joining me. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. Today, I've got a colorful, wintry plaid project to share with you. We are starting with this snowflake block die. It's by Simon Says Stamp. But before we die cut that and put it on our panel, we are going to do some ink blending plaid pattern making. I'm starting with Post-it tape, and I've got this grid paper pad below me. That's a Simon Says Stamp grid paper pad, and it is the key to getting straight lines, to getting consistent spacing, and to making your life all around better. Yes, I love this grid paper pad. I use it daily. I couldn't live without it. Okay, so I'm using the Post-it tape, masking off some stripes. You can be sure that you're going to have nice parallel lines when you're using that grid paper. Now let's just start by saying that this project is going to be hot, hot, and hot because I'm using Hot Mama and Hot Lips on the same project. Has it been done before? I don't know. Not by me, because this is a first for me, and I'm excited. I'm about ready to explode over the hotness of what's happening here. We're starting with Hot Mama. And now, if you are one of those nervous people about ink blending, you feel like you don't get nice results, maybe you think it's always splotchy and whatever. Well, this is a great way to ease into it without so much stress, because when you're doing thin little stripes like this, it's very forgiving. And plus, when you're building up a plaid pattern and you're doing overlaying stripes over stripes, it covers up a lot. It conceals a lot of imperfections. We don't need any stress, especially over ink blending during the holiday season. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so once we got our first stripe all masked off, I'm going to go one square on the grid pattern. So in between each of my stripes will be one square. So they're all like consistent spacing. But all of my stripes are going to be varied in thickness. I'm going to make some stripes thick, some thin. It's just what I felt like doing. That's what's the great thing about plaid. It's endless. You can do them all the same thickness. You can do varied spacing. You can do whatever your little heart desires. You can do whatever colors you want. I know it's Christmas season. You definitely could do a holiday themed plaid pattern, but sometimes I get a little tired of the red and green. But I mean, having said that, I'm a very traditional person. All my Christmas decorations are mainly red and green. And I know I'm a rainbow maniac and all that, but all my Christmas lights are just plain white. I just like it classic. I like it white. I like it red. I like it green. And all my walls in my house, very, very neutral, cream or beige. My furniture is very neutral. I like a very calm home when I'm here. I like it calm. I bring pops of color in with art and prints that I frame, but I don't like to be oversaturated with a bunch of color. That's probably why in my card making, most of the time, I use Nina Solar White for my card base. I like a nice neutral card base, and then I can bring in the color however I want to do with my rainbow craziness. But yes, maybe that's surprising to know that actually in my home, I'm very neutral. I have my friends come over and they're like, why don't you paint that wall bright red? And I'm like, no. My walls are staying cream, honey. And my girls, they want to paint their room. They want to do this stuff where you paint one wall one color and then you paint the other wall another color. And I'm just like screaming on the inside, like, how can you sleep in that kind of oversaturation? How can you wake up in the morning to two colors on your walls? That just baffles me. I need it to be very serene and very calm. Maybe because inside of my brain is a circus. I don't know. Whatever the case. So we have already finished off, while I was babbling, the one direction of stripes. And you could very well stop right there and have gorgeous striped background. But we are going to kick it up and we're going to go the other direction and make it a plaid. So right now I am doing fog, which is a great neutral to bring in. And it's almost like translucent when you ink blend. You can see those colorful stripes underneath it. And as you can see, when I'm ink blending, I go a little heavier on one side, a little lighter on the other. So here's hydrangea. So I come in heavy on the bottom there. You can see when I come in on the bottom, I bring it in and I'm heavier. I don't want it to be straight flat. I want a little ombre action there. I think it's almost like a velvety look. Just what I think anyway. So we are just about done here with our last stripe, and there is your plaid. Colorful, gorgeous, happy. Now I went ahead die cut 4 of these snowflake block dies. They're very intricate. I'm going to use spray adhesive to stack these up and layer them up to give it some nice thickness. I wasn't even going to attempt. I have one of these Simon Says stamp boxes that a lot of my product comes in. That's what I've been using to spray my adhesive in. It's working for me so far. I know you're supposed to run outside, but that was really just exerting far too much energy for me. And so, especially for videotaping, it's nice to have your spray station right there and handy. So I am adhering 4 of these together. When you spray that adhesive, it doesn't dry super fast. You have a little play time to slide it around and get it in the right spot before it, permanently adheres together. And I love stacking things up together, especially this one here. It's such an intricate die, and giving that little bit of thickness gives it nice heft. It pops off of the panel, and it just adds a lot of great dimension. So we're going to give it one more spray and then adhere it to our plaid panel, trying to find a not so sticky spot in my box there so that the whole complete die cut isn't covered in stickiness. And by the way, concerning the stickiness, I do know that once everything dries, it's not as sticky anymore. So if you get a little stickiness on the top of your die cut and you think, oh no, it's all sticky, once it all dries, it's not too bad sticky anymore. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're moving on to the sentiment. I got this jumbo striped set. I'm using that Thanks. I'm in love with the jumbo stripe set, and I'm in love with the sentiments on it. They're like super duper classic, just straight up basic sentiments. This one is just thanks. You know you're going to have to send a lot of thanks during the holiday because you get a lot of great presents, a lot of thoughtful gifts, and it's nice to send some thank you cards. So I thought this was a good opportunity to make a bright, happy, colorful thank you card. I'm going to emboss this in white. I'm using Simon Says Stamp white embossing powder on some black cardstock, and then a little foam tape on the back of my panel. We're popping that up on a Nina Solar White card base. Got a little foam tape on my little sentiment strip as well. I did have to trim this card base a little bit narrower than the standard size card, just so everything could fit properly with that snowflake die. See how it's a little more tall and narrow? So my panel had to be tall and narrow, and my card base had to be tall and narrow. Kind of like me, tall and narrow. No, I'm not tall and I'm not narrow, but this card is happy and it's plaid. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.